When Jasmine and I had been together for about 8 months, my roommate Julian sent me this voice message.
Hey Roland, how are you, bro? Look, maybe you want to sit down for this one. So, my boss wants me to move to Albania, so I'm gonna have to move out soonish. Yeah, okay, gotta go. Talk to you later.
Fuck, I need a new roommate. So this created not only panic in my eyes, but also a vacuum for one of the first big questions in our relationship. Should she move in with me? Instead of talking sensibly about this important step, I immediately blurted out, "Fuck, I need a new roommate." Now why the hell did I do that? My name is Roland. I'm a filmmaker and endlessly fascinated by human connection. Basically, how to find the one, how to love the one, and if necessary, how to kick the one's ass. And in this film, we're gonna kick some serious ass because I'm gonna show you my method, how I turned repeated fighting into love, like it was in the beginning. Over the many years of fighting and arguing in various relationships, I recognized some patterns, and these turned into a framework that helps me and my girlfriend Jasmine today turn bickering, fighting, and resentment into respect, harmony, and even more intimacy. And I truly believe it can resolve your problems as well, even if they've been constant companions for years, or if you run into the same issues again and again in different relationships. First, we need to be clear about what a fight is. In this video, I'm talking specifically about arguments and problems in relationships that don't seem to go away. They're super exhausting, you argue, you calm down, you have hot makeup sex, only to argue about the same stuff again a few days later. This dynamic is like a slow-growing cancer cell for a relationship, a toxic relationship. And toxic is exactly the right word here. You know, it's not like rat poison that would kill you instantly. It's more like smoking, a constant stream of toxicity entering your body. And then one day the balance tips, and before you know it, you get full-blown cancer. Now, how does a fight work? If we don't understand the mechanics, we will never be able to resolve it once and for all. Now imagine you're going about your life and suddenly something bad or annoying happens. Think about a problem of yours. What is always the cause of the argument? A certain word, a gesture, a behavior. Let's call this the trigger. This trigger evokes a reaction from you, right? Your partner does something stupid you don't like, and you react with an emotional, "what the fuck?" Here's a question for you that is so obvious that you're gonna wanna click away and watch cat videos. Why do you behave the way you do in a fight? The most popular answer here is because she did this and he said that. But it's also the wrong answer. So why did you yell, scream, or call him names? Why did you throw his phone against the wall, or why did you say nothing at all for 3 days? You see, there are 8 billion people on this planet, and each of them would react differently to the same situation. Heck, some of them wouldn't even react at all. So what's going on here?
The simplest thing they need to understand is human experience is caused from within, not from outside. Right now, see, somebody can abuse you, let's say. They're just words. Right now I'm going to abuse you in a language that you don't understand. You know, India has 1,300 languages. I can choose.
1,300?
Yeah.
Wow, I didn't know that. Wow.
So I'm going to use some Indian language and abuse you with a smile on my face.
Okay.
You think I'm saying something very sweet to you.
Go ahead.
Yes. So my abuse is not hurting you at all.
Right.
It's only your reaction which is going to hurt you.
Got it.
Right?
Yes.
So in whichever language it is, whatever nonsense it is only your reaction which hurts you, not my words ever.
Right.
But you think my words are hurting you. This you must change within you. You need to understand it's your compulsive reaction to life which hurts you, not what other people are doing.
So apparently it's you who expects the sock to be in the drawer, the toilet seat to be down, the cat's not in bed, and your girlfriend to be done in 5 minutes. These expectations seem so natural and obvious to you that you forget they're all just in your head. It's only when your expectations don't match reality that you react as immaturely and stressed and out of line as you do. I believe there is only one expectation we should have in a relationship, and that is trust. Not only to not be cheated on, but also to be safe and treated with dignity and respect. If your partner cheats on you, beats you, or neglects you, you shouldn't argue, but leave. You see, your expectations are the last link of an entire chain reaction that is completely invisible to you. I call it the chain of death, because it will slowly kill your relationship without you even realizing it. We already talked about the triggers, our reactions, and expectations. But behind your expectations are 4 more links that form your compulsive reactions. It always starts with the thought, I don't want something or I want something. But you only want or don't want things in life because you have a need that you want satisfied. In this case, this need is very important to you because you don't want to change your behavior. This behavior might be important to you because it keeps you from feeling something that you don't want to feel. And this is what psychologists call a coping strategy. Your mind created this coping strategy because at some point in your life something happened that your subconscious never ever wants to happen again. A traumatic event. And this, ladies and gentlemen, is the chain of death. If this sounds too abstract, let's go through this with an absolutely ridiculous example from my own life, where I made, bravely I might add, all the mistakes for you so you don't have to make them. Thank you. I feel like it's too soon for you to move in. I think we should wait. I don't understand that. We've been together for 8 months and everything is fine, and now you'd rather move in with a stranger? No, of course not, but I don't know, it's just too early. Incredible. I thought you loved me and we wanted the same. Why can't you just accept that it's too early for me? And what about what I want? I'm not gonna let you pressure me into moving in together, okay? How can you say that? So Julian's message was my trigger. My expectation at that moment was that I didn't want her to move in too soon. I felt like I wasn't ready yet, that I needed my space, blah blah blah. So even though I loved her, I unintentionally kept a safe distance between us because I was afraid that I would lose myself in the relationship, like I had done in my previous relationships. And this happened because when I was 2 years old, my parents had to leave their country because of a terrible dictatorship. And in order to get a visa to leave the country for a vacation, they had to leave me with my grandparents as collateral. So they managed to escape, and I was released 5 months later. Everything was fine, but obviously, in the moment Julian moved out, I still had the emotional brain of a 2-year-old. It sounds so simple and clear now when I say it like that, but at the moment it was anything but clear to me and us. My perspective was only one level deep. I don't want to move in too soon, period. And that wasn't even a thought, it was just a feeling. And you know, as wise as good old Sigmund Freud was, he wasn't always right when he basically laid the foundation for modern psychotherapy that often tries to help people by acknowledging and communicating their feelings. Jeffrey Miller, on the other hand, is not only an evolutionary psychologist, but he also applied his 30 years of experience on dating and relationships. And he says,
I wish more married couples knew that you don't have to take your emotional reactions nearly as seriously as you typically do.
As we can see in our case, my emotional reaction arose from a dysfunctional short circuit in my brain that believes it's safer for me to keep people at a distance because they might leave me again. And that's not even the most damaging aspect of all of this. Our dysfunctional reactions, or more precisely, our compulsive overreactions, become triggers for our partners. In our case, my hesitation felt like rejection to Jasmine because she expected to come first. Being first is the way she feels safe, and so she constantly and unconsciously looked for signs of betrayal, out of fear of not being rejected again, as had happened earlier in her life. So as you can see, the argument not only is just one level deep, where we not even talk about our needs, only our expectations. And it's even worse. It escalates with every sentence because we don't talk about our needs. So they can't be acknowledged. And I think most of the times we just simply don't talk about our needs because we simply don't know what we really want or what we're afraid of. And that's why we feel not seen or heard, and this makes us feel hurt. So how could the same conversation play out with an awareness for the chain of death? Maybe something like this.
Listen, I have a feeling that it's too soon for you to move in here. I don't understand. We've been together for 8 months and everything is fine, and now you'd rather move in with a stranger? No, of course not. But I don't know, it's just too early. It's me, isn't it? No, not at all. I love you and I could totally picture myself living with you. I just don't know, I think we should wait a little longer. Okay, but what do you want to wait for? I mean, what are you afraid of? I don't know, I enjoy my free time and then I can do what I want and that sometimes I can just be by myself, that's all. Well, I think when you're in a relationship, your partner's going to be around, you know, especially when you live together. I know, and I think that might be what I'm afraid of. What do you mean? Well, I told you that I used to live together with my ex, you know, and back then I felt kinda trapped because I've always felt like it was too early. Well, you know that I'm not your ex. I know, thank God. So are you afraid this might happen again? Well, you know, if you need me time or whatever, I think we should just talk about it and we'll find a solution. Would that make you feel any better? Really? I think that would maybe solve it. I used to feel like I have to be a certain way or, you know, do certain things, or I felt bad if I asked for me time, so I eventually stopped asking for it. So you kinda lost yourself, huh? Yeah, I think that was it. And that's why I wanted to postpone this situation as long as I could, you know. I'm sorry. So you could imagine moving in together? Yeah, I think so. Come here, you big baby.
As much as I wish that we were always arguing like this, the reality is it's not as easy, you know. Our emotions might just take over control and we explode. It will take a little time and practice. But for us, this has become kind of second nature now. And to make it even easier for you, I wrote 5 rules that can help you stay in your rational brain and not drift away into drama country. I call them the Vedic rules.
Rule number 1, be vulnerable.
If I hadn't admitted that I'm fearful, the conversation would have just stopped at one point without any result.
Rule number 2, show empathy.
Whenever we blame our partners, we forget one important thing. We are also part of the equation, which simply means we're also part of the problem. You cannot tango alone, so don't just blame, but assume that it's entirely possible that you are the idiot in the situation.
Rule number 3, dare to go deep.
Digging deep requires both of us to want to explore the hidden truths, not just throw insults around. But we shouldn't just talk about our problems, we need to talk through them.
Rule number 4, improvise.
Notice how we're jumping up and down in the chain, and that's totally okay. Sometimes you jump straight to the trauma because it's so obvious, and work your way upwards. Sometimes you just know what you need and work downwards. The important thing here is that you get clarity on all the links.
Rule number 5, stay calm.
Always be aware that your emotions might just take over in a millisecond. What helps here is a shared belief that it's not me against you, it's us against the problem. A fight shouldn't be seen as an opportunity to let out all your frustrations, but to solve a shared problem. The most beautiful thing about all this is that if both of you really want to resolve stuff, and you try this again and again for a couple of weeks, you'll see that you develop such a huge trust in the process that this alone will calm your emotions, and you'll make huge progress in fixing stuff once and for all. And I'm curious, are there any other ways you deal with conflict in your relationships? I'm sure there are many ways to bring a little Zelensky, Resiliensky to your relationships. Also, who doesn't like stories about drama? So feel free to share them below. If you found this video helpful, please feel free to subscribe. I will be posting a new video like this every other week, so click the bell icon if you don't want to miss the next one. Yours, Roland. Peace.